Shalom. All the credits first due unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and give a double honors, much respects into the men of whom I learned this truth from. Starting with the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and on down, though I be not a part of any camp, I learned and I studied under the Great Millstone Doctrine. Alright, and this video is brought to you by this article entitled Scientists Inspired by Star Wars Create Artificial Skin That Can Feel. Alright, because these devils, they have it in their mind that, they're going to be here forever. They're going to rule forever. So, they do all these things in their power, through their technology, through their wisdom on the left hand to try and, stay in power, because again, these devils through the spiritual demon Satan, he's put it in the minds of these devils that they're going to be here forever. So, when you, see things like this, marvel not, because, little do they know they're fulfilling the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, so just going to get into some of this article and touch on a couple of points. All right. It says Singapore researchers have developed electronic skin capable of recreating a sense of touch. An innovation they hope will allow people with prosthetic limbs to detect objects as well as feel texture or even temperature and pain. All right, so again, through their technology, that's how they're able to accomplish these things. Pretty much, creating these prosthetic limbs that are able to touch and to feel, right? It says the device dubbed ACES, or as synchronous coated electronic skin, is made up of 100 small sensors and is about 1 square centimeter in size. The researchers at the National University of Singapore say it can process information faster than the human nervous system. It is able to recognize 20 to 30 different textures and can read Braille letters with more than 90% accuracy. So humans need to slide to feel texture, but in this case, the skin, with just a single touch, is able to detect textures of different roughness. And research team leader Benjamin T. adding that AI algorithms let the device learn quickly. All right. It says the demonstration showed the device could detect that a squishy stress ball was soft and determined that a solid plastic ball was hard. When you lose your sense of touch, you essentially become numb. And prosthetic users face that problem, said T. So by recreating an artificial version of the skin for their prosthetic devices, they can hold a hand and feel the warmth and feel that it is soft. How hard are they holding the hand, said T. And that's the demonstration. I'm not going to play, but it says T said the concept was inspired by a scene from the Star Wars movie trilogy in which the character Luke Skywalker loses his right hand and is replaced by a robotic one, seemingly able to experience touch sensations again. All right, so because what people don't understand about all these movies that they make, and and especially those movies, those movies like Star Wars, that's something that they envision. That's something that they really want to, they really want it to become a reality. Especially those movies like Star Wars, those Star Wars movies, them being in outer space and having their satellite space stations and all that stuff. That's something that they really do envision and really do, they plan to really, bring to life. I forgot what movie, which movie it was, where Luke Skywalker lost his hand. He got the prosthetic, is able to feel and all that. This is something that they really want to bring into intuition. They really want to bring this to pass. But now they actually have the technology to do so. You know, and it's through their technology that's how they're going to be able to implement this mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. All right. There's a lot of information coming out dealing with this, these chips. Like this guy, what's his name? I always forget his name. Uh, Elon Musk. All right. He's coming out with this. These chips. These implantable brain chips. People that are blind, they're able to see, and people that paralyzed, they can walk, and all this type of stuff. All this information is coming out. All right, it's because now they have the technology to do so. All right, it's through their technology. That's how they're able to pretty much, um, you know, as well as the sword. The modern, which is the modern day gun. All right, and that's how they're able to pretty much take over the earth. Which again, when you look at it in a deeper level, it's that was his blessing. That's Esau's blessing, is his sword, and he would be given the fatness of the earth. The resources and everything, and all this technology. All right, that's how he's able to accomplish his will. Uh, so reading on, it says the technology is still in the experimental stage, but there had been tremendous interest, especially from the medical community. He added, similar patents developed by his team include a transparent skin that can repair itself when torn and a light emitting material for wearable electronic devices. T said. So you see that, you know, because again, anyone that pretty much doesn't know these scriptures, they're gonna you know, they're gonna fall by Esau's deception. All right. Because when you go to Revelations, and it's deeper than this, them with all the technology, um, you know, they're pretty much, their artificial skin and all this other stuff. It's on a deeper level, which I'm gonna touch on a little bit. But how are they able to accomplish these things? When you go to Revelations 13, it says Revelations 13, and see where I can start. I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Because America is basically just an extension of the Roman Empire. All right. Rome fell. It was pretty much revitalized when you had the different the establishment of the the EU and the NATO. All right, the New Rome Treaty. This whole beast system. All right, America is just pretty much a revitalized, just an extension of the Roman Empire. All right, and again, well, reading on, it says, verse 13, it says, and he goeth down, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And it's more so going into when America dropped those bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, that put fear pretty much throughout the earth, because prior to that time, there people didn't really see power like that. And again, it's through the technology. All right, the wisdom on the left hand. Esau was able to accomplish these things. All right, that's how pretty much Esau, he was able to establish his power. America was able to establish his dominance on the earth. Through those atom bombs. They became the top dogs on the earth. But ultimately it was through his technology. All right, because again, people ain't really seen nothing like that before. So reading on to verse 14, it says, and he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. So you see, it's, those through those miracles, which is, again, is going into those his technology. They were able to do these incredible things. These how these, because you still got people today, even though that people are waking up to Esau's bullshit. A lot of people, they still look at these devils as gods on earth, because the whole point of me doing this video is that's what they are trying to accomplish. They want to be like gods on earth. All right, and they're able to do that to an extent through their technology. Their technology is able to is give them all this power inside of men. All right, and that's how they're able to give image of well, reading verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So that's how they're able to give life unto the image of this beast, the whole beast system. All right. And that's how they're going to be able to, push out the mark of the beast. When you read on down, verse 16, reading on down, it's through their technology. That's how they're able to do these things. All right. Because when you go to, because this is something that they've had in motion for, they've had this planned out, for decades, for hundreds of years. This is nothing new. They've always been wanting to do these things, but now, versus back then, they didn't have the technology to do so, but now they do. Now they have the means to execute their will. When you go to Ezekiel 28, starting at verse 3, it says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And again, how are they wiser than Daniel? Because when you study Daniel, he was a very wise man, able to, interpret those dreams and whatnot. But these, these devils, they do their due diligence. They study, break things down to a T. But again, everything is on the left hand. All right. I read verse 4. It says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten the riches and hast gotten the gold and silver into thy treasure. Verse 5, it says, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. So you see, that's how they were pretty much able to accomplish everything that they're accomplishing. They're about to, start, with the whole mark of the beast. They're about to start issuing those, these chips, which is the mark of the beast. It's through their wisdom, which by their wisdom, their technology, because, if they had this technology back then, it would be considered sorcery. It would be considered witchcraft. When you just look at, everything, you just look at how everything is functioned today. It's pretty much function through technology. Everything's based off technology. But that's how they're able to, pretty much have their way and accomplish all these things. It's because of their technology. All right, which is, the scriptures tell you that, the wisdom of this world, is foolish. It's foolish. It's not real wisdom. But again, on a deeper level, this was prophesied. That this is his blessing, pretty much. There's another precept I wanted to get. Because I said that when you look at it on a deeper scale, this is how they're trying to self-proclaim themselves to be gods on earth. Because when you go to, I think it's Psalms 83. No, let me try Psalms 82, where it says verse 6. Psalms 82:6, it says, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. And this is going into the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right, we were the ones that were created to be, the powers of the earth, of the universe. All right, we are the sons of the Most High. That's what Yasha Allah, which is means Israel, but Yasha Allah, he, Yah, he, Shar, Prince, Allah, power. We are the sons of the living power. But Esau, they let me read verse 8. It says, "Arise, O Most High, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations." It's like that's not what I wanted. But on verse 6, it says, I'm gonna read it again. It says, "I have said ye are gods," which that just means powers, "and all of you are children of the Most High." So again, because we were the ones. There's another part of the Bible talks about how we were the king. We were set up basically to be the kings and priests. All right, we're the ones set up to judge and run this whole universe. All right, and that's just how the Heavenly Father set it up. But these devils, right, they got it in their minds, that again, and it's because they're self-proclaimed. They want to be they trying to set themselves up to be the powers of the of this earth, of the universe. All right, and again, it's through their technology. That's how they're able to. Then they're gonna because the scriptures talk about how just when they fill their bellies, because they're gonna get super close. They're gonna get damn close. They're gonna get a lot of people. Because of this technology, a lot of people are gonna fall under that deception. They're gonna get trapped in that web. All right, a lot of people are gonna take that chip, and accept the mark of the beast and accept this whole beast system. Only a very few, a small remnant. They're gonna say the hell with that. But when you go to 2 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 15th chapter, it talks about these new bodies. All right. See where I can start. I'm gonna just 1 Corinthians 15, and I'm gonna just start at verse. I just started verse 40. It says, "There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial." All right, and those celestial bodies, those angel-like bodies. All right, bodies that don't get sick. They don't die. Immortal bodies. All right, and then you have the bodies terrestrial, which comes from that word terrestrial. Basically comes from the word terrain, which is the earth. All right, these bodies that we're in, these vile bodies, they get sick, they get tired and weary, they break down. All right. It says, "But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption." So when Yahushua shows up, we're going to be changed into these new bodies. From these bodies that we're currently in, these terrestrial bodies, we're going to be changed into those celestial bodies, those bodies, those immortal bodies. All right, because again, the Lord is going to raise us up to be judges of the of the earth and the universe. This is going into that resurrection. When Yahushua shows up, we're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye. I'm going to get that, jump down and get that. So we're going to be changed from these corruptible bodies into the incorruption. All right, because real quick, when you read verse 50, it says, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doeth corruption and inherit incorruption. So you see that this is why when you go to the Hebrews, the 8th chapter goes into the new covenant that the Lord is going to put in our inward parts. All right, and this is a part of that. Getting those new bodies, we're going to be perfect. We're going to know all the laws, statutes, and commandments. Everything's going to be perfect. We're going to have perfect bodies. We're going to have a perfect mind, perfect heart. All right, this is all a part of that new covenant. All right. On verse 52, it says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. And I said this before, we're in the, right now we're currently between the 6th and the 7th trump. All right, the 7th trump being when those nuclear missiles hit, and we're being delivered up in those chariots. All right, we're going to be changed in a twinkling of an eye. That's when we're going to get those new bodies. Yahweh designed one of those men. All right, it says, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So that's when we're that 7th trump, we're going to be changed. We're going to be in a twinkling of an eye. We're going to get these new bodies, these perfect bodies. All right. Verse 55, it says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. So, once we get into those new bodies, that's it. Death is going to be conquered, because again, once we get into those immortal bodies, that immortality, we're never going to die again. This is precept. See if I can look it up real quick. Overcame. This might be it. If not, I'll just move on. No, that's not what I'm looking for. And it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. But yeah, I can't remember it. But nevertheless, moving on. But the point being, being that the fact being that these elect spirits that are gonna be delivered at the last trumpet, when Yahweh Shai shows up in that chariot and he delivers his elect. All right, we're gonna go to Matthew, the 24th chapter. Just get that, and it talks about delivering the elect from the four corners of the earth. Matthew's 24. I passed it. Matthew's 24. Verse 31, it says, and he shall send his angels. Now this is when Yahweh Shai shows up. You could read this whole chapter. It's a good chapter. We're currently living in this chapter, Matthew's the 24th chapter. So it's good to read and study this whole chapter. But Matthew's 24 and 31, it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. So again, when Yahweh Shai shows up and to deliver his elect, that's when they're going to get those new bodies. That new covenant is going to be established, right? We're going to have all type of spiritual power, just doing incredible things. And Esau, they know this stuff. So again, this is why they being that they know these things, they know that the elect of the nation of Israel are going to receive spiritual powers. They're going to get new bodies. All right. This is why they come up with all this through their technology. They come up with all these type of different ways and pretty much, prolonging their life, you know, because again, they want to establish themselves as gods or the ruling powers on the earth. All right. So again, when you see stuff like this, you hear about these things. This is what they're trying to accomplish. All right. Because again, going back to Jacob and Esau, Jacob, our forefather Jacob, supplanted Esau out of out of this blessing. All right. Because this could have been Esau, but again, our forefather Jacob, he supplanted him, and now Esau, he's doing everything in his power to get the birthright back. And again, it's all through their technology. All right. And this is what they think to accomplish. Because they want those spiritual powers. They want to rule forever. They want to live forever and be judges and kings and priests of the earth. That's what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to take it back. But hey, it was all set up from Yahweh Shemel Shai. And nevertheless, it's for us so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. So, with that, Esau, they can kick rocks, and just wanted to bring this out. Yahweh Ratazah, you were edified. Once again, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Shemel Shai, double honors to the apostles, the elders, and all the men of Great Millstone. Until next time, I say shalom.